Good morning and happy Sunday. Hey guys, who thinks of doing that? Who thinks of doing that? Eddie Van Halen does, I guess. Yeah. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Where's the coffee? Ah, almost dropped it there. Hey. Anyways, here's the coffee. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Because the weather is terrible. I'm not gonna say terrible because the white stuff hasn't fallen yet, but I mean, um, let's face it. We tried where I live. We seem to try and hang on to summer for the longest time, and then we then we cry because it's not good weather anymore. But anyways, change of seasons is good. Good for the character and everything else. Anyways, happy Sunday, guys. It's me again. And every year in October, I find we lost three significant um, musicians in October, fairly recently, within the last 3, 4, 4 or 5 years. Tom Petty's one. For Canadians, it's Gord Downie, and then for guitar players and heavy rock people, basically, it's Eddie Van Halen, who was his third anniversary of his death this month, a couple weeks ago, or a week ago probably. And I think when he died, I did about a month's worth of these shows on Sundays, just about Van Halen, just talking about him and different facets of that. So I do a tribute every year. I usually do it around his birthday, which is in January, and now. So forgive me, I'm going to talk about Eddie for a little bit. Um, you know, I was at I played last Friday night in Guelph, and a great friend of mine, Kent McMillan, came out, and we do Bridge on Fire, we do, and The Cradle Will Rock, and we're sitting there talking about stuff, and hadn't seen Kent in I think 30 years. Him and his lovely wife Kat came out to see us play, which was great. Great to see people, great to see old friends, and the Cradle Will Rock. We talked about the sound at the beginning of that song, where people, and when Van Halen, when Women and Children first came out, people thought, hey, that's his guitar. What's this guy doing? He's an innovator, all these different sounds and that. And by the way, the sound that I had on the opening song, Atomic Punk, is basically just an MXR phase shifter, and he's just scraping the heel of his hand against the strings. That's it. Like I said, who thinks of that? Who thinks of taking a Fender Rhodes electric piano, plugging it through an MXR flanger into a Marshall cabinet, and banging on the keys? That's the sound that's at the beginning of "And the Cradle Will Rock." And people thought, hey, that's a guitar thing, but it is through his Marshalls, so it kind of sounds guitar-ish, but it's a piano, and Bruce, our keyboard player in Bridge on Fire, slams the keys at the beginning of that song, and we play that song. But yeah, who thinks of these things? Who thinks of these? Who's innovative things? Who thinks of? Nobody painted a guitar, really. Some people did, but no one went to the extravagance of the red and white stripes and all that kind of thing until Eddie came along. Nobody had a Strat style guitar with a humbucker in the pickup, humbucker in the bridge position, humbucker pickup in the bridge position. It's Sunday. I can't speak. Floyd Rose. Floyd Rose was made famous by him. D-Tuna. Everything that's on my guitar is Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, just an innovator. Always chasing tones, right to basically before he got really ill, was still developing amps, still developing guitars. Really special thanks to the people who keep the EVH company going. EVH is a division of Fender. If if you follow all the gear stuff with Van Halen, he went through, he had always his stuff that he built, modified, just basically, drilled together and glued together up until possibly, I'm going to say, around the Sammy era. He started to talk to companies and finally retired the striped Strat style guitars and went to the Wolfgang style body, which was started by Ernie Ball, Music Man, and then apparently they couldn't uh, keep up with the supply and demand because they weren't a huge company, Ernie Ball, Music Man. So he went to PV, and made the Wolfgang PV, and then PV started making the 5150 amps. Um, I'm not sure what happened with PV, but then he went on to his own and then somehow through all that jumbled mess, he ended up with his own brand, and then Fender, and then Fender basically puts out all the EVH brand now. And after his death, now there you see just an onslaught of just tribute guitars that are just incredible if you're a fan, incredible if you're a fan, a guitar player and a fan, because all those guitar designs that he came up with over the years are now coming out and you can buy them. Unfortunately, they cost a ton of money, but some of them are not so bad. Check out the new um, Frankenstein series that doesn't have the stripes on it. And I thought, and when I played that Frankenstein guitar, I thought, man, shouldn't they need to they need to put this guitar out without the graphics on it? Because you buy the graphics, let's face it, if you're a working musician and you're playing, unless you're in a Van Halen tribute, I don't know if I can't play the stripes, So I actually considered, buying a guitar and then painting it over the stripes, which is kind of sacrilege. But now they come up. They have three colors. They have white, red, and black, and I haven't played one yet. But if they play anything like the Frank that came out not so long ago, incredible guitar to play. And then the 5150 iconic amp is just an amazing amp. If I had that amp, I don't think I need anything else. It's just that's the sound and that's it. But yeah, that's him. He's an innovator, and I just wanted to talk a little bit briefly about the Sam and Dave thing, because I don't think I've ever talked about that um, on the tribute side of things. Because two very different Van Halens. There's a David Lee Roth Van Halen. There's a Sammy Hagar Van Halen. David Lee Roth was raw energy. All the arguably all the greatest songs came from that era, which is usually if you talk about this with people, most incredible songs were written when they're from their 20s. Let's just say that generally. In any musician in their 20s. Think about any musician. Beatles, Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Van Halen, Genesis, any of those bands, their greatest music was written while they were in their 20s. And into their 30s too. I mean, there's still some great Van Halen music after, I love both eras. I think they're very different. The Sammy and the Dave eras. I love them both. The common denominator is it's all Eddie, and I think if you're into Eddie and listening to stuff, I mean, I like everything. Like I people don't like the Eventide years. If you're a guitar player, you know what the Eventide years are. That's when he was using the Eventide harmonizer to get that kind of chorusy sound that you hear on. You sort of start to hear it in 5150. You really hear it on OU812, and definitely on Balance, and for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge was probably the biggest album for it. But and I have the Eventide pedal on my board, if you can see it somewhere here, right here, this red one here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. The red pedal right there. Micro pitch, Eventide micro pitch. If you're a Van Halen fan, buy that pedal. It's a little expensive. There's a plug-in that goes with it that you can use for your home recording. I gave the plug-in to Jacob, my son, and he's made his last album basically. He put everything on the Eventide, even the snare. It mellows out the snare. Interesting enough. But yeah, that's the Eventide years where he had that kind of chorusy kind of sound. You hear it beginning of Black and Blue and that kind of thing. But cheers to Eddie and Sammy, who's still around, and Dave, who's still around. No tribute tour yet. Never heard about anything. But hey, what can you say? So there we go. There's my October tribute, yearly tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Still love you, still miss you. Everything I play is basically kind of in that mindset. In that mindset of no holds barred, let's play straight bridge pickup, no tone controls. If you can't, I mean, this is sort of a tone control, but I don't ever use it. Um, it's just the way he did it, and it sounds so good. Let's just keep doing it that way. Anyhow, we got some big stuff coming on, changing gears. Thanks to everybody who came out to Guelph, especially Kent and Kat. We're at Buck's Tavern this Friday night in Brantford. Local, come on down. Bridge on Fire, that is. On Sunday, big day, Sunday, October 22nd, for my school, Avalon Music Academy. We're having a huge fundraiser between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. at the Polish Hall in Brantford. It's to support the Friends for Kindness Foundation, who's Nicole, our great friend and supporter of us. We're helping her out with a great cause. Look for the posts. We'll be there. All acoustic show, piano, acoustics, low budget. I do a low budget one so we can give more money to the cause rather than pay for production and overhead costs. We do that once a year. 2 p.m. Polish Hall, Pearl Street, Brantford. I will be doing a double duty later on that night at Manny's in Brantford. We'll be doing a benefit concert, Bridge on Fire. We have a new band called Threesome, who is three of us guys from Bridge on Fire have an offshoot 3-piece band that we're going to go out and have some fun with some really bizarro songs because we just want to do it. That they will also be playing in front of Bridge of Fire. Jacob will be playing a few select songs, more than likely on acoustic in between the two our set. And then Bridge on Fire will be playing one set of all our killer songs. So, and the cause is our great friend Heavy Metal Mark. His wife Pauline is now fighting cancer and doing very well. I might add, but we're raising some money so her kids who live overseas can come over and stay with her while she goes through a rough time. And anybody who's going through that kind of rough time, our heart goes out to. So we're all rallying together with a bunch of bands. Trevor Cobb is putting it together. Great local guy, musician. Hobby's Kitchen Party will be there. Ruby's Revenge will be there. A host of other bands. But we're John Fire. We're special friends to Mark and his wife Pauline. So we are closing the show with a full set. Manny's, October 22nd, Sunday night. It'll be done early. It starts at 3. I have to come later because of my earlier show, so we'll be on probably around 8 o'clock to close the night. Come out and see us and support a good cause. Tickets are advanced $10, $15 at the door, so I would buy the advance to support our cause. We're not getting paid. It all goes, 100% goes to the cause. Anyhow, long show today, a lot of rambling on. Shoot some comments about Eddie. I'd like to hear it. Good or bad? Good or bad? Because there are some bad for some reason. Before he passed away, there was some bad. And I don't like to dwell on that, but I want to hear the good. Take it easy. Have a good Sunday. Have a good Sunday. Whatever that meant. See ya.